Hello everybody, Bedrock here. Today we are doing a little bit of another tutorial because, I don't know, I felt like doing a lot of tutorials this week. Today we are teaching you how to get these wonderful items. The command block and the structure block. Now these two items are extremely helpful, especially with making maps and whatnot. And today we are going to learn how to use them and how to get them. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started because I don't know how to do like cringy YouTube intros, so we're just gonna get started. Anyway, so these are the two items. We got the command block and we have the structure block. Now, right off the bat, you can see there are some key differences between them. One being, the giant like box emanating from the structure block and the lack of a giant box emanating from the command block. But that is because they both have very different uses. You see, we will cover the command block first as it is the easier of the two. Alright, so the command block, it's a wonderful item, but to, have such a wonderful item, you're going to need to type this command. It is /give @esc command _block, and I'll tell you why. Like each thing is why it is. So the slash in this is to tell the game that you're making a command. That's just how it differentiates between a chat and a command. Now you use give because that is the command for obtaining an item. So if you use /give @self dirt, you'll get a dirt block. Now then, so the that's going to be the @ symbol, and then you put S for yourself, P for the nearest player, R for random player, A for all players, and E for every entity. Well, /give doesn't really work for @e, so just don't use that one. And /s and /a are probably what you're going to /s and @a are what you're going to use the most. Now then, you just do you do command block, but the reason you put an underscore there is because that's just for the syntax to like recognize it for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't like spaces, but you just gotta do command _block, and then you hit enter, and and now you have yourself a wonderful command block. Now then, you have to be a creator and you have to be an operator, which in Bedrock you have these a crown next to your name if you're an operator. You'll get it automatically if you create the world, or if somebody in another world like gives it to you. But remember, cheats have to be on. So yeah, cheats do need to be on. Now, so what you're gonna want to do is, you can just put this away or whatever, and you're going to want to left click. I believe it's left click. Yes, it should be left click onto the command block. And you'll see right off the bat there's a ton of things. And there's actually a list of how to use the @ right there on the command block for your purposes. Now, we're going to go over each particular part of the command block. So, the hover note, this is to give it a name. So, we're just going to put in, say, command as the hover note. And now, it says command. Now, there are 3 types of command blocks. I'll go over them in a second. But, the condition. So, essentially, unconditional means it'll activate no matter what. As long as it gets activated by something, it doesn't scan for anything else. It just does its job. But, if you put it on conditional, it'll do its job only if another command block confirms that it can do its job. And that'll come in handy in a second. Now, the redstone. If you leave it on needs redstone, that means you need to hook up a redstone power source to it. So either a lever, a button, something. Now, if you put it on always active, it'll do its command always. It'll do it like every tick. Or if you don't, you can make it not do it on every tick. So you can put a delay in the ticks. So say I put 5. Now there's a delay in ticks from when it does everything. And execute on first tick, that's just to make it execute on the first tick. Now then, that's all this side stuff, and cancel just makes you get out of it. That's all this stuff. Previous output, it'll just tell you if the command worked or not and what the command did. So now this is just to paste stuff. It doesn't really work on Xbox. It might work on PC though. Now then, you just if you go to this plus, you'll see a bigger version of the command. But for your purposes, you can also just click on command input and you'll be able to put stuff in the same. Or if you really want to, you can do it like this. Either one works and it'll be the same for each. So we're going to do this so you can see the command. So we'll just do like, we're going to /give. Oh, by the way, the @self does not work for command blocks. So you can do @p to get the closest player. So we're going to use that dirt example. And now we just go over here. We grab ourselves a redstone torch, I guess. And look, now I have a dirt block. So we just throw this. And yeah, that's on the first impulse command block. But there's also chain command blocks, which they have to be hooked up to another command block for them to work. Well, no, they don't have to be, but that's their purpose. Now, these ones you want to almost always put on conditional, because then they'll only activate if the command block in front of them activates right. So, essentially, we grab this. You have to get their arrows to line up. So not like that, because that was a total fail. Their arrows have to be lined up for the commands to go through too. So once you have the commands lined up, and it's on conditional, it'll only work when the other command block tells it to. Now the next is repeat. This one, I'm kind of struggling. Okay, there, repeat. So essentially, what this one does is it, sorry guys, I'm trying to think of the words. So it does it constantly. So if it has redstone, it'll do it constantly. But on repeat command blocks, you usually want to put it on always active. Now look at that. Now I get a ton of dirt. So now we're just going to turn that off before it gets out of hand. And yeah, nearly 2 stacks of dirt in just a second. Let's just clear the weather. There we go. And yeah, that is as good as you need. Now, command block minecarts are a little weird, so I'm not going to cover them. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to structure blocks. Structure blocks are also a bit of strange things. So, once you place one down, you will notice this strange border go up. Now then, if you just left click on the block, you will see when you open up this little menu, and you'll notice that box is the same as this and includes everything in it. So if I put this here, the block of kelp appears. So essentially what it does is it saves things. The structure block will save whatever's in there. So if we just put our dried kelp block in there. Here, let's make like a little just mess of kelp blocks. So we can go over here, and you can use these to change the size. And if you turn this to 0, it'll not include the ground. So you can change the size. I can make it slightly longer. I can make it taller. Yeah. And essentially, you can remove blocks, which is kind of dumb. But you can also include entities. So you can, I don't know, grab. Let's put a little axolotl in here. So we'll just do that. Put our little buddy in there. See, we got a little axolotl in there. And if we look at this, you can actually see that there's an axolotl in there. Now then, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to name it. So I'm going to name it 1, and it's going to turn into my structure 1. Then we save it. And now we can break it, and then we can get rid of all of this. Like so. You can take your structure block and put it wherever you want. I'm just moving it a little bit. Now you can click on this, and I don't know what corner does, so I'm not going to cover it, but you can hit load, and then you put it in the name of your structure. And watch this. You hit load, boom. We did it a little bit wonky, so it went through the floor, but our little axolotl friend is right here. Now we're just gonna break this, and we're gonna set him free. So let's just do that. Goodbye, little axolotl friend. Go join your other one. Because I put the other axolotl in the ocean. So we'll just let him do his thing. Now we're just going to repair the ground. Like this. Alright, guys. That's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share for more tutorials like this. I think this was a pretty helpful tutorial. So, I can do another tutorial on some other commands. I'll probably do a tutorial on scoreboard commands and maybe a few others. But with that, I guess I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.